with Becky with special guest, my mother. All right, so it is a lovely Thursday. It's so nice and sunshiny outside today. So I hope you're having a happy day. And we are going to get started. Today's things that we're grateful for are things that start with the letter K, which we were just brainstorming, and K is a hard letter to come up with. And I also forgot my T was on the easel, and I nearly lost it, and I would have been sad. All right. I got this all backwards. Here we go. All right, so the letter K. I'm going to double check that if it's seen. All right. All right, the letter K. The first thing with the letter K that I am thankful for is my niece Kinsley. Kinsley just turned 9 years old, and I am very grateful for her. The second thing is kangaroos. Definitely, the second thing is kangaroos, which personally I think one of the most fun animals, because they hop around and they can stand on their tails. It's pretty cool. When I went to Australia, we went to this like wildlife park and we got to see them up close. And then before I left to come home, I bought a kangaroo skin. So somewhere in the house, I have a kangaroo skin. Very soft. All right, what else did we come up with, Mother? Krispie Kremes. We are grateful for Krispie Kremes. I'm going to go ahead and sit so I can reach the board better. Krispie Kremes. Ooh, Kaleidoscopes. That's a good one. Now, I'm going to say, she's probably not going to say it now. When I asked my mother, what are you thankful for that starts with the letter K? The first answer she gave, first thing out of her mouth without any thought, was kissing. So, there's that. All right. So, Debbie is grateful for kissing. And ketchup, which I'm not real thankful for ketchup. I mean, it's great, but... okay, kayaking. I do enjoy kayaking, so we'll put kayaks. Kayaking. It's a great way to get out in nature. And then kaleidoscopes. Because sure, why not? I don't know if I'm spelling this right. Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. Oh, kindergarten. That's a good one. Kindergarten. I loved kindergarten, I think. I don't know. I really liked first grade. All right, so these are the K things I'm grateful for. Put in the comments what you are grateful for, or just share with the people around you the things that you are grateful for, so that we can all be grateful together. All right, so it is Thursday, and the last couple Thursdays, we have had story time, the adventures of Becky and John Paul. So I figured, hey, why not continue on? So another exciting story time adventure today. Today I will be telling the story of the first piñata. Now, not the first piñata ever in the world, but in my life. All right, so Storytime Adventures with Becky and John Paul. Do you know this story? Do you know what story I'm about to tell? I don't know if I remember it the same way it actually happened. I like having my mom here for storytime feedback. All right, so once upon a time, long, long time ago in the late 1980s, in a land far, far away called Wichita, Kansas, there lived a little girl and a little boy named Becky and John Paul. Now, Becky and John Paul had some friends at church who were from Mexico. And occasionally they would go and spend the night or go to their house to play or whatever. Well, one day, one of their friends had a birthday party. And they were kind enough to invite Becky and John Paul to the birthday party. Now, they had never been to a birthday party with a Mexican family. They didn't really know what to expect. I mean, Wichita, I don't think is known to be like an ethnically diverse urban center. I don't think of it that way. Maybe it is. But this was the only Hispanic family in my world. You know, had never been to a Mexican birthday party before. So we show up at the party, and there's a piñata, which I had never seen before. At least I don't recall ever seeing one before. I think I was 6 at the time. So, they have a piñata, and it's so exciting. It's bright and colorful, and we all stood around in a circle. It was dangling from a string, and if I recall correctly, they were kind of making it, whoever was controlling the string the piñata was hanging on, they were making it kind of jump and dance. And we were all taking turns being blindfolded and hitting at the piñata with a stick. Now, poor little Becky, as we have already established previously, she was not a very athletic child. She was not a speedy child. She was a fluffy child, and she was a slow child. Slow physically, not mentally, very quick mentally. Keep that clear, folks. So as all the children are gathered around the piñata, and the children are beating the piñata with a stick, as happens with the piñata, suddenly it started to crack, and a little bit of candy started falling out. All the children dove in for the candy, but again, little Becky, she was not the quickest. So as she dives, after all the other children have grabbed for candy and then quickly gotten out of the way, the blindfolded stick swinger, crack, gets Becky right in the head. Down she goes, flat on the ground. Tears spring to her eyes. They're bugs. They're packing. Tears spring to her eyes. She's just been cracked in the head with some sort of wooden stick. And as she lays there on the ground, all of a sudden she sees Abuela coming at her with a knife. In that moment, I thought Abuela was going to cut the knot off of my head. I had never had anyone come at me with a knife before after sustaining a head injury. So quickly, the mama, her name was Inez, rushes me into the house, puts some ice on it. Abuela is still chasing us down with a knife. At this point, I was terrified of the grandmother because she's chasing me down with a knife, and I've just been bashed in the head with a wooden stick. So as I sit there at the table, and the mama has ice on my head, she takes the ice off, and here comes Abuela with her knife. I should have brought a knife out for a fact. Knife. Abuela comes at me with her knife. I'm sitting there, petrified. Now, little Becky, you should know, was a fairly obedient child and a fairly quiet child. So even though Abuela is coming at me with a knife, I did not say a word. I just let this old woman come at my head with a knife. So there's this big old knot on my head, and she takes the knife, and she starts rocking it back and forth, trying to mash the knot back into my head. I don't know if that works. It seems like a bad idea. I was just grateful at the moment that she wasn't trying to carve the knot off my head, because that was really what I thought she was about to do. I thought she was about to take that knife and just slice the knot right away. But instead, she simply just tried to mash it back into place. I don't know if it worked or not. I just remember being terrified that Abuela was coming at me with a knife. Anyway, so that is the story of the first piñata. It was somewhat of a traumatic experience. But, you know, I've steered clear of piñatas since then. I've not been hit in the head with a piñata stick since then. Other wooden objects, baseball bats and the like, but not a wooden piñata stick. Alright, so that is the adventure of Becky and the first piñata. I hope you enjoyed it. Good times. Please, if you ever see me with like a head wound, don't come at me with a knife. At this point in life, I'm likely to say something. Alright. So, has anyone else had a tragic piñata experience? I'd love to hear it. Has anyone else had a little Mexican grandmother come at you with a knife? I'd also love to hear those stories. Because that's not one you hear every day. So, let me know if you've ever had a little Mexican grandmother come at your head with a knife. I'd like to hear that story. Alright, so today's big word is stupendous. Woo! Almost not enough room for that little S at the end. Stupendous. So, stupendous, while it sounds kind of like stupid, it does not mean that. Stupendous means amazingly wonderful. It means like super, just amazingly wonderful. That's all the words I've got coming to my head. Anything you want to add to that? Amazingly wonderful? We'll go with that. Stupendous. It's like better than great. It's stupendous. It's amazingly awesome. It's just fantastically great. So, that's our big word for the day, stupendous. Today is a stupendously sunshiny day compared to yesterday's rainy day. So, stupendous, great word. I hope you have a happy day, a wonderful sunshiny day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.